Namitakiapi, Leya. Welcome to the ICT Newscast. I'm Shirley Snavy. Tribes across the country gather for celebrations to honor culture and tradition, some in unexpected ways. In Syracuse, baseball meets lacrosse. In the homelands of the Haudenosaunee, a baseball team honors women's lacrosse. Stuart Huntington was there.
This team is on a roll.
It's just been amazing, super exciting. We get just qualified for Tokyo 2026 next summer. It's really awesome.
Super, super awesome, and I just feel honored.
The Haudenosaunee Nationals women's lacrosse team had a strong performance at the Pan American Lacrosse Association Games in June.
We got a bronze medal.
The performance qualified the team for the World Women's Lacrosse Championships in Tokyo next year. Team members say they are excited, but not necessarily surprised.
I was not shocked. I was very confident in our team's abilities to make the comeback. We were down 4 goals, and we just made that comeback. So it was really awesome, and I was just super proud of our team.
We're meant to be here. We're finally here. And I remember just staying there looking at the teams and us as we're getting ready for our medals. And I was just we're meant to be here. It's finally time. We're here. We're not leaving. We're the top dogs now. And I know when we played against Team USA, they were nervous playing us. Some of the players shared with my teammates that they were nervous playing us, but we're ready and we're here. And it's just been amazing. I love this high. I'm still on the high there. It's been almost a couple of weeks now, but it just shows that all the work we've been putting in behind the scenes, and then a lot of us work full time. Some of our girls are away at school, but that just shows how much heart and love we have for the game as well as for each other to have that success that we had.
This team is special, says Claudia Jimerson, a former member of the Nationals who has 4 daughters who have also made the roster.
I mean, our women are so awesome. They're really in the moment. They're really, when they're around each other, it's they play for each other. It's really special. They bring a lot of energy and passion and sisterhood to the game.
Now that we made a stamp and we got qualified, that was the biggest, stress that we had on our shoulders was we had to qualify because we know the Olympics are watching and we have to show that we can play at this level, at the Olympic level with Team USA and Team Canada. So for us to qualify is so huge.
The main goal, of course, for the Nationals is to get recognition from the International Olympic Committee to let the team compete in the 2028 Los Angeles Games. The Haudenosaunee did, after all, invent the game. But while that effort continues, the women's team is enjoying its success and a little attention. In July, the Syracuse Mets minor league baseball team honored the women at its Haudenosaunee night. The night featured some singing, some dancing, an honoring song,
Let's hear it for the Haudenosaunee lacrosse anthem.
and a ceremonial first pitch from a lacrosse stick, all welcomed by the women. The Syracuse Mets were happy to put a spotlight on the team.
It's great, because I think their story is great. I think last year they were number 8 in the world, and now they're number 3 in the world, and hopefully someday they'll be number 1 in the world, and hopefully both teams will be playing in the Olympics. This being the traditional tribal lands of the Haudenosaunee, it needs to be recognized, and we're happy to do it.
And as the women keep their eyes on the games ahead and the goal of playing their own ancestral medicine game in the Olympics, they also have a message for young Native women and girls.
Keep trying. Don't let the critics get to you. You are meant to play this sport. Our people created this sport. Don't let any hate or anybody tell you that it's a man's sport, because this is for all of us, and it's truly a medicine game. It heals everyone. It can heal your vulnerabilities, and I don't know, just has helped me a lot during my life.
Our young Indigenous women, no matter what it is, I think it's really finding something that they're passionate about, something that brings out love and fun. I think once you can find that passion, whether it's lacrosse, softball, ice skating, hockey, whatever you name it. It's like whatever brings that on, like continue to do it and if you can find other women and young girls who believe in the same thing and feel the same way, bringing them all together for a common purpose is magic.
No matter what you're doing, just keep trying at it. And, it doesn't matter what sport it is. It doesn't matter what your hobby is. But if you put 100% effort into it and full love and passion, it's really going to pay off in the end. And you're just going to keep growing in whatever you're doing. To any Indigenous girl listening to this, no matter what sport you're in, believe in yourself. You can do it. Dream is no big, not too small. Continue dreaming, continue putting that effort. You're gonna see it flourish. I was that little Native girl wishing and dreaming, and I'm here today, and I'm so proud of myself. Be proud of yourself and love yourself, because that's what matters, and continue pushing yourself. Be your biggest supporter, biggest cheerleader, and you'll see success coming your way.
For ICT from Haudenosaunee Homelands, I'm Stuart Huntington.
Fentanyl is hitting California Native communities hard. Tribes are fighting back with cultural solutions. Here's Daniel Herrera Carbajal.
The United States is in the midst of an opioid epidemic. California is home to the largest population of Native Americans, and many Native communities are being affected.
In California, 1.2% of all drug-related overdoses were among Native American and Alaska Native individuals in 2023.
One of the factors for the influx in opioid-related deaths is fentanyl. It's a powerful synthetic opioid that's stronger than heroin and morphine.
About 50% of all drug-related overdose deaths do involve fentanyl. So we see fentanyl as one of the driving factors in drug-related overdose deaths in California.
In comes in Amy Knox, an enrolled member of the Pascoyaqui tribe in southern Arizona. She works on creating harm reduction programs respective to each tribe and incorporating overdose prevention vending machines on tribal lands. The vending machines provide 24-hour access to naloxone and other harm reduction supplies such as fentanyl test strips.
So when we start trying to create programs that are culturally appropriate or culturally geared towards our Indigenous communities, what we try to do is work with each individual tribe to allow them like a backbone structure and to build from that backbone structure up into including their own individual cultural ways into it. And so that way we can actually apply that kind of proven mechanisms, proven structures, and then allow them to build on top of it.
Historically, tribes have been underfunded, resulting in a lack of infrastructure for health and education.
I meet them where they're at. And so I will go in and literally say, what are you guys ready for? What are you not ready for, right? So I have some communities that harm reduction is putting their seatbelt on, which is a valid form of harm reduction, right? I'm ready to put my seatbelt on, but I'm not ready to talk about naloxone yet. We're just not ready for that in our community.
And while Indigenous communities continue to battle with historical traumas, the toxicity of drugs on the streets has only increased.
We're used to treating a street-based drug in a certain manner, but now, unfortunately, we have people that have to really formally detox or medically detox off of a drug because it was so toxic. It's no longer just, I'm abstinent and I'm ready for treatment, right? So there are a lot of elements going on in our communities that we just have never seen before historically.
So an amount smaller than a few grains of salt is enough to cause a fatal overdose. So it's really strong. You only need a small amount to overdose, and it's also being laced in many different substances. So it's being found in drugs that look like prescription pills, like Xanax or Adderall. It's being found in common substances like cocaine and MDMA. So it's becoming more widespread, and it's also really difficult to tell when it's in another drug because you can't see, smell, or taste if fentanyl is present in another drug.
Amy says there are many challenges when it comes to introducing harm reduction in tribal nations, but what's important is listening to the community.
We have to come where we're not overstepping our boundaries. We're listening to the stakeholders, which are our community members, our elders, our youth, our council, wellness committees, right? And all of that has to be built in. So it is kind of working, it's working with, maybe 50 different nations at one time instead of working with one organization.
For ICT News, Daniel Herrera Carbajal.
The circle of life begins with the birth of a child, and that journey begins with pregnancy. People who are pregnant or who have had a baby know their bodies. and know when something does not feel right. When they speak, we must listen. Hear her. Learn more at cdc.gov/hearher/AIAN.
Meet Leya Hale, an Emmy Award-winning producer who merges cultural traditions with modern media to tell Indigenous stories. She's an Emmy-winning producer, and now a fellowship from the Bush Foundation will allow her to hone her leadership skills. Meet Twin Cities Public Television producer Leya Hale.
Leya Hale imaki apie damakota ye oyate mitawa kinhena sisituanga wakpituanga shina hade ha awi chaki apie pirame apie.
Her documentary, Bring Her Home, won international awards.
Her body was found wrapped in trash bags in the Red River.
She was kidnapped and raped. She was meant to be trafficked.
My people have gone missing since European settlers set land here on Turtle Island.
That was called Bring Her Home, and I believe that was, I produced that during the pandemic. That one was definitely took a lot of strength and courage to do because of the subject matter and the sensitivity around just making sure that I wasn't, making people feel too vulnerable. I really wanted to highlight the women that I was following and highlight their strength and their resiliency in regards to just some of the challenges they had to overcome and are currently dealing with in regards to raising awareness for that issue. So I grew up in Los Angeles area. My family came to be out there through boarding school, Sherman Indian Boarding School, which is still in existence today, but it's Native run, and the relocation program. So I grew up really close to Hollywood. My mom was an aspiring actress when she was growing up. So she took me and my siblings to a lot of commercials. So I got to, be on sets, and I got to see all of the cool productions that were happening around me. So I think that's what sparked my interest. Along with my father, my late father, Benjamin Hale, he was a phenomenal storyteller. And we used to travel around the region, dancing at different educational institutions like libraries, colleges, elementary schools, teaching our culture through story, songs, and dances. And we had a group that was named the Eagle Spirit Dancers. And when I was young, I would just listen to my dad talk about, the importance of our culture. So I'm originally from Sisseton, Wahpeton, Dakota on my maternal side. And I came to the University of South Dakota in Vermilion, South Dakota for my graduate degree in American Indian Studies. And then that's when I really learned about the history of the forced removal of Dakota people and really learned about why we are situated, our reservations, and the places that they currently are. So, that really was empowering to learn that history. And I really wanted to go to a place that I could be able to learn Dakota language. So I ended up coming to the Twin Cities and enrolling in the Dakota language program out of the University of Minnesota. And then I definitely wanted to, find a place that I could start practicing the craft of filmmaking. So that's why I ended up coming here to Twin Cities PBS. For the past 13 years, I've been the only Native American employee. And to me, there needs to be more of us here. And I just feel like I try my best to do whatever I can to create space for up and coming filmmakers on my projects. With the technology, we have technology in the palm of our hands now. And it's exciting to see so many Native content creators out there, the short form stuff that we see on TikTok and whatnot. But I really am hoping that we're going to get a large push of young Native people to enter the actual art form of filmmaking, because it is different, how to tell a story. There's actual craft behind it and skills and knowledge when it comes to forming a story and how you bring, a message you want to tell through subjects and just so many different methods of doing that. So to me, the Bush Foundation, the Bush Fellowship is something that I'm hoping that I can help contribute to encouraging more people, more Native people to enter the field. I really want to incorporate our language and our belief systems and in a way place it within the stages of production, the early development stage, how you tell a story and how do you establish meaningful relationships with your subject. Gift giving, coming to families and individuals and presenting them with tobacco, some of our traditional medicines, and honoring that agreement, and making sure that I'm doing everything I can in the most respectful manner.
From the homelands of the Dakota Oyate, I'm Shirley Snavy. In rural Alaska, a village tackles high energy costs with solar panels, biomass, and a whole lot of community. Daniel Herrera Carbajal has the story.
In Galena, a sprawling village in central Alaska, a community built around a former military base is shifting to clean energy in an effort to reduce its reliance on expensive imported diesel.
So a number of years ago, actually over 8 years ago, the community went down the path, the city starting the project of looking for grant money to support a large-scale community solar array alongside a battery energy storage system, a BESS, as they're commonly known, that could potentially offset a lot of diesel that is burned in our powerhouse to provide electricity for the community.
Local leaders say their nearly completed solar farm, along with an existing biomass plant, will boost the town's savings and protect residents from blackouts during extreme weather. The technology has the potential to provide clean backup power in emergencies and improve the power grid's resiliency, all while diversifying the village's energy sources and providing job opportunities for locals. The project comes at a precarious time for renewable energy transition in the United States. The Trump administration has canceled billions of dollars of clean energy grants in an effort to bolster fossil fuel production, and billions more in investments in the U.S. have been scrapped or delayed this year. So far, the village's federal grants for the solar array haven't been impacted, but local leaders know the risk remains.
The funding scenario is troubling currently for, renewable energy or, microgrids or things that are, climate or environment related right now, or federal agency related in general. But these things come and go. We'll be here. We'll weather that change or that storm or whatever you want to call it. And, just do our best to keep moving forward.
Whatever the future public funding, the village is an example of how renewable energies can save costs, boost reliability during extreme weather, and create jobs.
SEGA started more than 10 years ago as a nonprofit with its primary function to provide renewable resource biomass material to the school district to heat their campus buildings for the boarding school that's here in the former Air Force Base. So we heat those buildings with chipped birch trees for a big biomass boiler plant, and that offsets a tremendous amount of diesel.
In May, dozens of high school students stood with nervous excitement in a locker-brimmed hallway, each waiting their turn to walk into the audience-full auditorium. It's graduation day for Galena Interior Learning Academy. The school's vocational training courses and cultural offerings attract some 200 students annually from across Alaska. Students here can take classes on sustainable energy, aviation, carpentry, and much more. But in order to keep it running, especially during long cold winters, it needs heat. That's where the biomass project comes in. Every winter since 2016, trees are locally harvested and shredded into wood chips that fuel a large boiler plant on campus, offsetting about 100,000 gallons of diesel annually for the school district and the city.
As high schoolers that are about to get into the real world and be consumers and just wanting to live their life, money talks. And then on top of that, you just kind of circle it all back around to the fact that you then could get a job working on maintaining, repairing, building these projects. And now you're saving your community money, you're saving yourself money on your bills, but you're also now making really good money. So it's this total big flip that can arise because of some of these projects that are popping up.
Galena burns just under 400,000 gallons of diesel annually to produce electricity, and an energy price hike around 2008 helped the village realize something needed to change. Scotland remembered when a gallon of diesel was $1.64, then skyrocketed to $4.58 another year. At that wholesale price, the city was paying more than $1.8 million to keep the lights on. That's when they started looking for grants to build a solar array. On an overcast May day, workers in reflective safety vests slotted rectangular panels on a metal grid. They were working on the nearly completed 1.5 megawatt solar farm that will connect to a battery system. Once in use, the community will be able to turn off its diesel engines and run on 100% clean renewable energy on sunny summer days. And any excess power will be battery stored for nights, emergencies, or heating the local indoor pool. The solar array will allow them to shut off the diesel operation between 800 and 1,000 hours a year, totaling about 100,000 gallons. The solar farm won't necessarily lower people's electricity bills, but like the biomass plant, the hope is that it will stabilize energy costs, allowing these savings to go back into the community, all while providing work opportunities for residents like Aaron Sommer. Last year, the 19-year-old graduated from the academy where he learned about solar energy. Now, he's helping to install the solar array.
I have to go through and get diesel for myself and here and then, and which is pretty pricey, about like 8 something a gallon, which is kind of absurd for city prices. And yeah, it's really exciting to see this help out the community a lot.
In addition to the solar farm and biomass project, the Loden tribe is building new energy-efficient homes that will help members be less reliant on diesel. Some of the sidings used in the homes comes from wood harvested in the area. For ICT, Daniel Herrera Carbajal.
A nearly forgotten Ojibwe dress style is making a comeback. Amelia Schaefer shows us how one woman's research is helping restore a piece of history.
These iconic pieces here called the straps actually represent the deer legs. Those are the front legs of the deer.
Meet Siobhan Marks, an Ojibwe woman who has spent decades researching a nearly forgotten dress that used to be a staple for woodland women.
Our grandmothers were wearing deer hides, and so these were the legs here. The sleeves, which are absolutely ingenious, that you can slip in or out of them so easily to do your work. It's cold or the bugs are coming, you slip back in, but I can flip them back like that and I can do my work. Absolutely ingenious design, and there is no other dress in the world that is like that. So this dress, we're wearing the body of the deer. Those are the deer legs. The hindquarters are our sleeves, and it splits up the middle to give us ventilation, also gives you freedom of movement, of range. It's a very practical design, very elegant design. And then, of course, the back of the dress would have been the back of the deer. So if you think about it, when we're wearing these dresses and dancing, we are representing that beautiful, gentle relative, Wawasheshki. In our language, that's how we say that.
Marks, who now leads Grandmother's Dress Workshops, first began to research the dress when she wanted to learn how to powwow dance.
As an Anishinaabe Kwe, I looked out there at what our women were wearing, and all I saw that was really discernibly Anishinaabe, or in my particular case, Ojibwe. The closest thing I could find were jingle dresses, which are lovely, but they're teachings about jingle dresses. And as an adult woman coming into my own, I really asked those questions. Well, what did we wear other than the jingle dress? Well, I reached out to my uncle, who had been studying, making, doing beadwork, Ojibwe beadwork for all of his life, since he was 10 years old. And he said, well, I have some references along the way. He really focused on men's clothing, but he helped me, and he helped me understand the historical eras, and that is what really sparked my research. So it was a matter of looking at everything I could find. There were only 5 museums in the world, because my uncle and I went to Europe, that actually had an example of our dress. And none of them had the full dress.
The dress has several names: our grandmother's dress, the deer dress, or as early settlers called it, the strap dress.
I too will refer to this as a strap dress, but I really try not to. That is literally the colonizers' language. If in doing research and seeing what Europeans coming into this part of creation were writing down, first of all, they didn't really pay much attention to our women, but the few things that were noted, we would get descriptions such as, of course, the high dress that was held up by straps, and for whatever reason, it's the straps that stuck.
The dancers and those who wear the dresses are part of a growing movement, one to bring back traditional clothing worn by Indigenous women in the North American woodlands, clothing that was once almost erased alongside Indigenous language, cultures, and traditions during colonization and the boarding school era.
I've been trying to find, as many of us are as adults, trying to find our way back, right, to who we are as Indigenous people, whatever our tribal makeup is. And so for me, it was language, culture, community, ceremonies, powwows, all of that. I really wanted to try and immerse myself in that and find my place. Where is my place in all of this? Because I was not raised with that.
The dress has come back in force after several specials this last powwow season held across Turtle Island in the United States and Canada.
It's almost hard to conceive. I didn't think I would see this in my lifetime. I really didn't, because I've danced in it for long enough and had enough doubts and questions thrown at me, thinking it's just going to take longer. It's just going to take a while before we're ready to accept this dress. So the reason it's important is there's so much of this story that was almost all but lost to us. And we're bringing it back. And so in bringing that back, it's understanding that the story of this dress is our story. And that we can reclaim, we can pick up those clues that our grandmothers, our ancestral grandmothers left for us along the way. Pick those up and bring this back and reclaim it for ourselves. Not only ourselves, but future generations as well. We're so lucky to have it, to have uncovered it, and to be reclaiming it.
For ICT from Anishinaabe Homelands, I'm Amelia Schaefer.
And that's a slice of our Indigenous world. For all the latest, visit ictnews.org. From all of us in the newsroom, stay safe, my relatives.